Hi friends, welcome back to another video. If you don't know me, my name is Krista and I'm an illustrator who also runs a small Etsy shop. Today I wanted to look back on my first year of running the store, talk about how I started, where I am now, and what are my future goals. I will also share some statistics and tips, so stay tuned. Okay, so first let's take a trip down the memory lane and see where I started. I actually have a video about this on my channel if you want to see the full setup, but in short, I launched my shop on July 28th, 2023, and I started with prints and manufactured stickers. I opened with 10 listings in total, and in my professional opinion, that was a great starting point because I could also send everything through envelopes, and my biggest investment was my printer, which I actually still use, and the ink that came with it hasn't run out. So a quick promo or shout out for the Epson EcoTank L4266 printer. I know there are some sources that suggest to have more listings from the start, and maybe that works for some, but I felt much more comfortable to start with envelopes only because shipping was one of those things I knew nothing about, and I didn't want to mess up. Thankfully now I feel much more knowledgeable, and I'm happy to report that I'm sending out boxes as well. Actually, they are kind of my favorite thing to pack now. Currently my store has 47 active listings, and I have expanded the types of products I sell as well. I have keychains, binder clips, washi tapes, bookmarks, lanyards, stickers and sticker sheets, and even reusable sticker books. So to anyone who wants to start a shop, you can definitely start small and build up your inventory over time. And talking about inventory, I would suggest keeping your stock low at first. That's something you can build on with time as well. Believe me, I know that a lot of things are much cheaper when you buy in bulk, but if you don't have a huge social media following or something, it's better to start with a few pieces, like 5 to 10 of each item. Actually, social media following is another topic I wanted to touch upon, because I have grown quite a lot on YouTube and TikTok over this past year. I don't have it written down, but I think before I started my shop, my biggest account was Instagram with around 200 followers, and then around 100 on YouTube and TikTok. So since then, Instagram hasn't grown too much because I'm not really consistent there, but YouTube and TikTok now has over 1,000 followers, which is so crazy to me. My first video actually has more than 10,000 views, and it's still being watched till this day. If you guys are interested, I can make a separate video on first year on YouTube as well and go a bit deeper in the statistics. Anyways, I definitely believe that social media was the one responsible for quite a few of the sales I got over this first year. When it comes to Etsy, it actually didn't bring that many visits to my shop. So let's maybe move on to the statistics, shall we? Okay, so of the day of filming this, these are the main stats. So the total views, we have 6,854. We have 3,027 visits, 44 orders, and 476 euros in revenue. Remember that this revenue is not like the actual profit number because it doesn't include the price of the item and it doesn't include Etsy fees. So just FYI. Some may say that's nothing, some may think that's a lot, but I wanted to share this with you either way so you have a reference point if you start in a similar way as me. With that I mean practically no social media following whatsoever. From my side, I think it has been quite a successful year. I was fully expecting to maybe get like 10 sales, so 98 is so much more than I thought. Okay, now let's talk about Etsy itself a bit. would I recommend it, some tips and tricks and stuff like that. I would definitely recommend Etsy to people who are just starting out. It's so easy to set it up, and the only upfront cost is 22 cents per listing. As for me, I will also still keep using Etsy even though the fees are not the lowest, because I still don't receive that many orders per month. But when I feel like I can justify the cost, I will 100% set up my own website shop as well. Because as you can see here, for me, Etsy brought in only around 34% of the visits. It could be also because I haven't really optimized my titles and tags, but they are not super bad as well. And now that I have touched upon one of my future goals, I can mention some of the other things I would like to achieve over the next year. Number 1, I want to have even more types of products. Spoiler alert, I have ordered some pencil cases already, but I would also love to stock things like notepads, tote bags, and maybe even t-shirts or something. Then number 2, I would love to get the Star Seller badge at some point. And number 3, of course, I would love to have more sales, but I don't want to put a number on that because that's not really something I can control. Great. So now that we have talked about my past, statistics and future goals, last thing I wanted to mention are some tips and words of encouragement. Number 1, if you want to start a shop, just do it. Don't overthink it too much. I definitely tend to do that as well, but you can't really prepare for everything. So just do it. Number 2, consider Etsy if you're just starting out. Number 3, start with something simple and do a test shipment if you're worried about that. I actually sent a test envelope to my sister to see how that works and how fast she receives it and things like that. And number 4, and maybe the most important one, have fun and don't burn yourself out. Don't feel like you need to add new products every week, especially if, like me, you have other responsibilities like a 9-to-5 job, for example. So I think that's it for now. I know I probably didn't cover everything, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments. Maybe if I will receive a lot of questions, I could make another video with Q&A. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, especially if you have been here since the beginning. And I really, really appreciate you guys so much. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!